Okay, now we've got our entity configured and set up in our data context. What we'll do now is we'll take a look at the repository. And inside the API, inside the interfaces folder, what we'll do is we'll create a new interface and we'll call this iLikes repository. And inside here, what we're going to do is we're going to create three methods that we're going to support. We're going to get an individual like, we're going to get a user with their likes and include them, and also we'll have a method to go and get the likes for a user, whether the user they've liked or who they've been liked by. And what we're going to return from this is we'll return a DTO, and we'll use this just to select the properties we're interested in for what we return here. So we'll create a new class inside the DTOs, and we'll just call this like DTO. And inside here, the properties that we want to return, we'll return the int of the user ID. So we'll call it int ID. We'll return the string of the username. And we'll return the int of their age. And we'll return the string of known as. And we'll return the string of their photo URL. And what we'll also do is just return a string of the city. Now, this is the information we need to create a member card, just like we're displaying on our member list. And the users we like, we're going to display them just as cards, and we'll get the information from this DTO. And we'll go back to our iLike repository. And what we'll do inside here is we'll create a task that's going to return a user like. And this is just going to be called getUserLike, and we can get this by its primary key, and we'll use the source user ID and the int of the liked user ID, and this is enough information to go and get a specific user like. So we'll import using system threading tasks, and we'll also need to bring in our entities here as well. So that's one method. What we also need is a task. And in this case, we'll return an app user, and this is going to be called getUserWithLikes. And what we'll pass through here is the int of the user ID. And then what we'll do is we'll return another task that's going to return an IEnumerable. And it's going to be returning a type of like DTO. And in here, we'll call this getUserLikes. And we'll take two bits of information in here. We'll take a string of the predicates, as in, what are we looking for here? Are we looking for a list of users that have been liked or liked by? And we'll also take in the int of the user ID here as well, because we're going to get this for a specific user. And we'll also need to bring in system collections generic and our DTOs folder as well. And then what we can do is go ahead and create our implementation class for this. So we'll go to our data folder and we'll create a new class, and we'll call it like or likes repository. And inside here, what we're going to do is we're going to obviously implement our iLikes repository interface. And let's go and bring in API interfaces, and we'll just set this up and we'll take a look at the implementation of what we're doing next. And what we'll also do in here is just add the constructor, and we're going to inject our data context inside here, call it context, and we'll initialize the field from parameter. And one more task, we need to go to our application service extensions so that we can actually make use of this service in our controllers, and we'll say services and add scoped. And we're going to say our iLikes repository, and we're going to use our likes repository as the implementation class. So a bit of setup involved to add this feature, and what we're going to take a look at next is the implementation of the repository.